The Chicago Blackhawks hit St. Louis tonight with some new lumber. It has to be better than the old twigs they were using. Is there even one goal in any one of those sticks? We'll find out next. After a Game 1 defeat, the St. Louis Blues have built a commanding 3-1 lead. Led by the line of Scott Mellanby, Keith Tkachuk, and Pavol Demitra, the Blues offense has been trumped only by their star in goal. Since allowing a late score in Game 1, Brent Johnson has been unbeatable. With 3 straight playoff shutouts, Johnson was first to tie an NHL record held by Benedict, Rothroach, and McCool. Tonight, Johnson and the Blues look to advance on. This is the Savas Center in St. Louis, Missouri. We are just about set for Game 5 of the Western Conference quarterfinal series. The St. Louis Blues tonight look to eliminate the Chicago Blackhawks on home ice. Hi, everybody, and good evening, and welcome to the Stanley Cup Playoffs here on ESPN 2 with Darren Pang. I'm Steve Levy. It's really as simple as the name Johnson is common. If Brent Johnson pitches a record 4th consecutive shutout tonight, this series is obviously history.
Oh, this is remarkable how they've played in front of him, and it's remarkable how Brent Johnson has responded. I mean, here's a guy in his first legitimate playoff. Everybody questioned Brent Johnson. Is he good enough? Well, Brent Johnson has been absolutely terrific, going over 180 minutes of shutout hockey, and he actually snagged one from Steve Sullivan in that last game when it was a 0-0 game. Maybe the Blackhawks could get ahead 1-0. That wasn't to be. In a very tight game, Brent Johnson was the difference. Steve Sullivan had 3 glorious scoring chances, and Brent Johnson was there all the way. The Blackhawks have got to score the first goal on this guy to gain some confidence.
Speaking of Sullivan, he's on the record saying, hey, it's not Brent Johnson, it's what we're not doing, and the offense is not doing all that much.
You got that right. All the top guns for the Chicago Blackhawks, whether it be 5-on-5 or whether it be the power play that's really let them down, these 4 gentlemen that have led them in scoring have not been there for them, and they are all difference makers, but clearly that has not been the case in this series. Combined 0 points and 31 shots. The Chicago Blackhawks, Steve, have got to score the first goal because St. Louis plays a different game when they're behind.
Up next, we'll get some thoughts from John Saunders and Barry Melrose, and they'll be ready to go. The Chicago Blackhawks, they're calling them that because of the goaltending of Brent Johnson. Hawks and the Blues coming up. John Saunders and Barry Melrose. The question is very simple, Coach. How the heck is this team going to find a way to score?
It's all in mathematics, John. When 3 guys can't get the job done offensively, you add 2 more to equal 5. You bring the defense into the offensive scheme, make them come late, just like Philadelphia got scored on last night by Ottawa. Have the defensemen come late to make a 4-on-3 out of a 3-on-3. If you remember when they won Game 1, Karpatsev joined the play, got the shot from the slot, and beat Johnson in that situation. So I think they got to bring all 5 guys. 3 guys ain't getting the job done against St. Louis.
And when it's been 3 games since you scored, it starts to creep inside your head. You start to do things a little differently.
It's doing cartwheels in there, man.
It's unbelievable what's going on in this playoff. We have 2 goalies with back-to-back-to-back shutouts. Tony Amonte. Well, you know he's got no points because they've got no goals. Blackhawks and the Blues coming up. ESPN2's coverage of the Stanley Cup Playoffs is brought to you by Kia Motors, makers of a full line of quality cars backed by a 10-year warranty program. By Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. And by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the National Hockey League. Back in St. Louis, the Blues have never lost a series when they've led 3-1. Chicago's never won a series when trailing 3-1. That is the deal tonight at Savas Center, and here is St. Louis's new favorite son, Brent Johnson.
I think Brent combines a lot of his father that played in the National Hockey League, and he played for the Blues. He was a goaltender, he was a competitive man, and a lot from his grandfather, Sid Abel, the Hall of Fame forward of the production line of the Detroit Red Wings. You get that combination, you get a pretty calm guy. As far as the Blackhawks are concerned, they've not scored a goal, of course, in the last 183 minutes and 10 seconds. Eventually, you'd have to think that the Blackhawks players will get one, whether it's off their lid, whether it's off their rear end, but eventually they're going to get a break.
They've gone to the smelling salts. You saw that on the bench. The referees Mick Magoo and Don Van Massenhoven, the linesman Randy Minden, Mark Wheeler, and we're underway from Savas Center in St. Louis. The Blues tonight can become the first team in the playoffs to advance to the second round. Out ahead, just behind Eastwood, Jamnov puts on the brakes. Calder can't get to it. Daze does on the far side. 55 on 44. Centering feed. Puck is loose. Here's Alexander Karpatsev, the last Chicago player to score a goal. Alexander Karpatsev with 3:10 to play in Game 1 back in this very building. Long shot on Johnson. He's in the hockey game. They'll steer it aside for Chris Pronger. Both squads will go for a change. Pronger remains out there with his partner Mike Van Ryn. Pronger will lead the rush. Long shot. And Steve Passmore is in the hockey game. Wait, centering feed, glove save by Passmore off the shot from Scott Young. 55 seconds in.
Good save by Passmore, but as far as the St. Louis Blues are concerned, they're going to be without one of their key guys. In Game 4, Dallas Drake came across the middle, and his chin hit the helmet of Kyle Calder. He went down hard at that particular point. We obviously never thought that he was going to return. He did not return in the game. We did see him after the game, as you see Ray Barilli helping him off the ice, and it was a tough task at that. But Jamal Mayers will take that spot along with Tyson Nash on their checking line, which has been so effective here on home ice, with Mike Eastwood on the one side and Sean Podine on the left.
Eric Boganicki is the forward tonight that will take his place in the roster for the Blues in his first Stanley Cup playoff game here tonight. You know he's got to be juiced to watch for 33. Here's Stillman across the line. Backhand shot. Stopped by Passmore. And the rebound is Chicago. And the Hawks look to counter with some speed. Here's Steve Thomas. Has Tom Fitzgerald with him. The shot juggled by Johnson as he's able to steer it into the corner. And Al McInnes is on it for the Blues. Just able to get it away. And Young rolled off his stick. He'll just poke it free to center. Fitzgerald, the shooter, right back in.
You know, Steve Thomas is a shooter. And I think all along he was hoping that defenseman was going to go towards Fitzgerald so he could just let it rip. By the time he made his decision, Steve, that one just barely offside, and Steve Pops can't keep it in. By the time he made up his mind, the defenseman did an excellent job of poking the puck off of off of Steve Thomas's stick, excuse me. Amonte comes on the ice now, but Steve Passmore made a good save. And that started the rush for the Chicago Blackhawks. Corey Stillman does a nice job on his backhand, cradles it, tries to go high. The goaltender Passmore has made 2 good saves early. And that save results in this odd man break. Nylander on the right, and then on the left side of your screen came Fitzgerald. He never got the puck because Thomas was thinking shoot all the way. Never a bad thing when you got a shot like Steve Thomas's.
Pronger will wrap it around the far side. Imagine how disheartening it would be for the Blues to get an early goal here, get their crowd into it, and maybe get Chicago starting to think about their offensive woes. Passmore has seen to that, but it won't happen. Johnson juggles that one, but still able to hang on the long shot from Tony Amonte.
Well, the Chicago Blackhawks, Ray Ferraro at 5'10", 180 pounds. I don't think he saw Ryan Vandenbush, who's a pretty solid hitter. Caught Ray Ferraro off guard. He went back gingerly to the bench. Ray Barilli, their medical trainer, looking at him, and it's a left shoulder. There's no doubt about that. And the way he's holding his left hand, it tells me that this could be something more than just a jolt. What's up?
That's a live picture the folks were looking at as well. That was not a replay of him heading to the dressing room. He spent all that time while we were in a television commercial still on the bench.
Hoping that it was going to be better. I mean, we don't have to tell you that. That's not good news for Ray Ferraro and the St. Louis Blues. Ray Ferraro's played real well on that line since being moved to the 4th line. Not playing a lot of minutes, but playing well.
Nash shot. Podine collides with the goaltender, and he's going to get called for it. Delayed penalty against St. Louis. Here's Calder, and across the line. Nash will get to it, and we'll get a call. Podine is skating towards the bench. Forget it. He's going to have to head to the penalty box, although he looks shaken up after the collision with Steve Passmore.
When he was going towards the net, he was sort of sandwiched in there by Phil Housley. And the goaltender, Steve Passmore, was trying to maintain his balance. Keep your eye on, right between the old legs is where the stick of Steve Passmore is, and probably nudge the athletic supporter before going into the net. But the referee is deeming this goaltender interference. But does he make enough of an effort avoiding contact? I would have to say he almost deserves the benefit of the doubt that with Housley so close to him, don't you think? A lot of times, there's times where you just can't, there's not much you can do as a player, but, you know, in protecting the goalies, that's not a bad thing. But Sean Podine did go to the penalty box and remains in a great deal of pain.
13:57, the time of the penalty. Goaltender interference. This is Chicago's first power play of the game. The Blackhawks went 0 for 5. You knew what's coming, huh? Went 0 for 5 last game as the puck is put right into the Blues bench. The Chicago power play is 0 for 15 in this postseason. There's Eric Daze.
Well, Daze's a shooter. That's what he does best. He's got a wonderful one-timer. He's got good hands in close. But the power play doesn't work if the veteran from Minnesota doesn't distribute the puck in the right area. A lot of pressure on Phil Housley, but he's the guy. Jamnov also plays the point. Jamnov did have an excellent Game 4, as you had mentioned, but they've really got to break the ice. More and more pucks that Johnson faces, the bigger he's getting in that net.
Good face-off win by Nylander. Pronger on it. Daze rubs him out. Calder trying to make it work against Nash. Nylander on Finley. Daze put it back into the pile, up the near side. And Nash is able to clear.
I know I'm going to sound nitpickety here, but the Blackhawks are on the power play facing elimination, and Daze and Nylander and Jeff Finley of the Blues are battling for the puck, and Jeff Finley comes out with it. You have to have more desperation than that.
Housley for Jamnov. Cross ice pass. Shot blocked. Rebound loose. Just softly by the side of the net. Kyle Calder put it. Back to the point. Held. Jamnov. The lane. That is blocked into the corner. Nylander on it. Daze and Pronger in front. Tip shot. Just missed the post by Calder again. Jamnov holding his own. Floater towards the front of the net. Daze chipped it wide. Far side. Housley back behind the net. Daze lets it go for Calder. Calder had a ton of scoring chances in Game 4.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of good ones here tonight. Finley doing a number on Nylander. Daze ran into Finley. And a penalty is coming up. And a high sticking call. Power play is history. 4-on-4. We get it back from John Saunders.
Well, Steve, you talk about power plays. Vancouver's had 3 in the first period. Here's Fedorov over to Dandenau. That's a shorthanded goal. And Kluge, I'm sure, would like to have this one back. Goes down to his knees and watches it go 5-hole. 2-0.
Oh, boy, John Saunders. You got to think that long shot by Nicholas Lidstrom has had long-term effect on the young goaltender, Dan Cloutier.
Speaking of shots and goals he'd like to have back. Coming up, the Southwest Intermission Report. John and Barry, NHL Tonight Studios. We'll see if the Bruins can bounce back. Barry Melrose will have an interesting theory involving animals. The latest on Matt Sundin.
Barry's got it all.
Oh, man.
There's a high stick right there by Nylander. The tip of his blade came up and he clipped the right side of Jeff Finley. You know, Finley in that last game, Game 4 in Chicago, played real quiet. 17 minutes and 13 seconds. He's playing extremely well for the St. Louis Blues. Obviously, McGinnis and Pronger are the guys that are always on the ice. They never leave the ice.
Stillman trying to break. Amonte got back. We'll work it around. A little line will fake and hold. You want to finish that thought?
I think it was, what was it, 55 seconds that McGinnis and Pronger were not on the ice?
One of the two on the ice, all but 55 seconds.
You need other guys. So between Bergevin and Finley, they've really done a great job.
Sullivan roaring in, deflected off the glass and out of play. 4:05 left in period number 1. We remain scoreless from St. Louis. High sticking is the call at 18-17. And St. Louis will go to their 3rd power play.
Someone in the stands is something that Tony's shipping back.
I can make a guess too.
Yeah,
I'd rather not go there.
No.
Chicago over the first 9 minutes, they had 12 shots on goal. Over the last 9 minutes, 1 shot on goal.
Short-handed.
Here's Pronger now. Checked by Thomas. Loose puck in front to Chicago, and Clem gets the opportunity to clear.
Their margin for error is slim enough as it is for the Blackhawks. Haven't scored a goal in over 3 games, and now they're giving the St. Louis Blues 3 straight power play chances.
And Passmore's been great. He's really kept them in the game again here in the first.
He's giving them life. Remember, the Blackhawks had 4 power plays in the opening period of Game 4 on home ice and could not score.
Pronger shoots it around. There's Mellenby on it now. Softly for Tkachuk. Finds partner Demitra. Pronger, McInnes. Pronger lets it go through traffic. Mellenby all over Passmore as he went wide. Final minute to play in period number 1 was scoreless from St. Louis. A Blues victory. The Blackhawks season is over. Here's McInnes. Back for Pronger. Off a Chicago player, Korolev. Mellenby gets to it. Looks like Van Massenhoven, the referee, was in his passing lane. Here's Demitra now. Working the wall. Tkachuk in the slot area. There's Mellenby. Back for Demitra. 24 seconds left in the period. McInnes fakes it. Here's the pass. Demitra. Mellenby scores! Scott Mellenby, power play goal, and the Blues lead 1-0.
With Al McInnes' perfect pass through the seam, right on the tape to Pavol Demitra, who slides it effortlessly to Scott Mellenby. And Mellenby fires it into the empty net, and Tony Amonte can only dejectedly react in frustration as he sits in the penalty box, and the Blues score on the power play, the ever-important first goal of the game.
And that first line continues to do what they have been doing throughout this series, torturing Chicago. Mellenby from Demitra and McInnes at 19:43. Nash and Karpatsev bang. Eastwood in there as well. And it's so loud in here you can't even hear the horn. Brent Johnson, another shutout period of hockey for him. And after 20 minutes of play, the Blues lead the Blackhawks 1-0. ESPN2's coverage of the Stanley Cup Playoffs is brought to you by Pontiac. What would you do for some Pontiac excitement? By Wendy's 99-cent crispy chicken nuggets. It's better here. And by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold down easy. Alongside Darren Pank, Steve Levy from St. Louis, the Savas Center, and the second period is underway. And we open with the Blues and a 1-0 lead. Mellenby from Demitra and McInnes at 19:43 of period number 1. And it was a power play goal for Scott Mellenby, his third goal of the playoffs. Jamnov dumped Nash. Here's Daze at center. He's slowed down. Nash bumps into him. Housley will shoot it around the boards. There's Brent Johnson. Shutout streak at over 203 minutes as we open up the second.
You know, we just saw Daze trying to carry the puck through the neutral zone. Many good wingers in this league have told me that if your winger's carrying it through the neutral zone, then something's wrong. You're not getting the puck in the right areas. Daze is a guy that has to get the puck with speed on the rush so he can blow by defensemen or let the puck go in different scoring areas, not carrying it through the neutral zone.
Here's Waite carrying it through the neutral zone. Waite's in. That shot blocked by Karpatsev, and he'll shake it off. Karpatsev missed some 17 games during the regular season and still led the NHL in shot blocks. Why did he miss those 17 games? Injuries due to the shot blocking ability. Shot from across the blue line is blocked. Fitzgerald got away. Chipped back behind the net. Thomas tried to kick it to himself. Could not. Up the near side. Here's Doug Waite. Out ahead. McInnes just behind Young. Put him offside. Our Coors Light storyline from Savas Center in St. Louis looks something like this. Brent Johnson, 204 minutes and 32 seconds without allowing a goal. And Scott Mellenby, all of a sudden, he's a goal scorer.
Darren Wright is doing an excellent job. The veteran right-hand shot. Our Coors Light storyline replay is the only goal of the game. It was a power play tally. Wonderful puck movement by the two veteran defensemen. And then a great pass by Demitra. But the guy that doesn't get any credit is the guy in front of the net. Keith Tkachuk won't get an assist, but he battled a load line hard. Mellenby was able to sweep in over top and then go unchartered right behind him and able to score at an empty net.
Here's Demitra, 2-on-1. He's got Mellenby with him. Demitra holding, still got the puck. Got a bit of a pick there from Mellenby. And it's back behind the net. Tkachuk centered right through the crease. Nobody was home for St. Louis. And the Hawks were able to clear. Mark Bergevin, he's pinched off along the boards by Korolev. Monty on it there, can't get it free. Odelon for Chicago. Off the boards and down. And this will go for icing. Bergevin is back for the touch.
Very difficult playing Pavol Demitra, and I had a chance to talk to Steve Popst about that, and Popst really talked about positioning. Don't do anything you're not capable of, and watch out for Demitra trying to curl in to the center of the ice. Steve Popst was there, trust me, on the right-hand side. Demitra goes wide. Odeline's there as well. Odeline looking. They'll give him the shot from that area, Steve. They do not want him cutting across the crease and then in front of the net. Dimitra's very good at it, and Keith Tkachuk's very good at it. Trent Yanni's a former Blackhawks defenseman that wore number 8, and he coached Steve Popst in Norfolk of the American Hockey League, and he really taught him a lot about being a calm influence on that ice and positioning, not running around. And you know what, I was wrong on that, because you know what, Steve Popst was nowhere to be found on that particular play. Got caught off the ice a little bit. But they clearly don't want to allow Demitra or Tkachuk to make that one little cut move into the middle of the ice to get a good scoring chance. He has burnt them time and time again during the year with that move.
Popst has really been an unheralded star for Chicago in this series. He leads all players, both teams, in hits coming into tonight with 22 of them. Offside at the Chicago blue line. Well, we asked Keith Tkachuk, who was leading the team in assists with 3 of them, if he was going to turn into like a finesse center. He said, no, I'll leave that for my true center, Pavol Demitra.
He's done a great job, yeah. I mean, making that jump to center is tough, especially this year. I mean, we were, didn't have many natural centermen. He did a great job from the start of the season all the way to the end. And, he's the type of guy that you have to get the puck to. And don't worry, he'll let you know when he's open. And, the best thing to do for me and Scott Mellenby is to get him the puck and go to the net.
By that, he meant because he slaps his stick on the ice, kind of chop, chop, chop to make sure he knows, I want the puck. But Pavol Demitra traded for Christer Olsen. An Ottawa Senators trade. What a deal that was. May go down as one of the all-time. Well, there's been a lot of great trades. I don't want to over-exaggerate, but that's a pretty darn good trade.
Haven't heard much from the other guy. Here's Bell's shot. It's deflected, so it's been a pretty good deal. Good to see Ray Ferraro back on the ice for St. Louis. And not just because we like him so much personally. Here's Stillman. He's got a break off the steal from Karpatsev. Made the shift and lost the puck. Went to the right, the puck went to the left.
Stillman's had a couple of good chances the last 2 games.
Brian Vandenbush softly on goal. Johnson the save, and he'll hang on. With Probert there, his players come together. Pronger involved, and Salvador there for the Blues.
Corey Stillman getting yet another good scoring chance. Let's go back to Game 4 where Stillman had a glorious chance and kind of double clutched on it, and Passmore made a real good save. Then in the first period of this game, Game 5, right side of the net, there's Corey Stillman. He's got it. No, he doesn't, because John Clem makes a great save as Steve Passmore again was diving along the ice. Corey Stillman has scored 27 goals 2 times in his NHL career. That's his career high. Kevin Turkin couldn't get to him, but Corey Stillman still couldn't make the move. After Corey Stillman blocked that, whatever that was going to be from Karpatsev, an ill-advised play, and Stillman had plenty of speed. Now he's talking to himself. Now he's talking to Ray Ferraro. You don't score, Levy. You talk to your stick. You change your stick. You break your stick. You keep talking a little bit more until it goes in the net.
If that's the case, Chicago, all the players of the Blackhawks have to be out of words. Thomas tried to go for the big hit. McKinnis got just enough of him to slow him down, so Bergevin didn't feel the entire front. And it's Nylander back in his own end. For Lyle Odeline off the Popst. Nearly picked off head high by Tkachuk. Nylander for Thomas makes the move but couldn't get around McKinnis. Here's a good shift by Waite. Bergevin rushing to join the play. Got Tkachuk. Waite to let it go. The save by Passmore. And the rebound right back to Waite. Centering feed. McKinnis lets it go. Saved by Passmore. Waite on it again. Might be Doug Waite's best shift of the series. Terrible giveaway nearly in front of the net. somehow able to recover it. It turns into a 3-on-2. Nylander, the shot. That might have hit off the post.
It did.
Nylander, backhander. They scored. Steve Thomas on the goal. Throw a party in Chicago. The Blackhawks have scored a goal. And it's a 1-1 game. And look around, folks. They're on their feet in St. Louis for Brent Johnson, the Blues goaltender. A classy touch by these St. Louis fans.
Oh, that's gotta mean a lot to him too, and I'm sure he'll want to respond with a big save after. But what a play by Steve Thomas! The veteran rips a backhander after Nylander rifles it off the crossbar. The Blackhawks O-line keeps it in, and another one clank off the crossbar. This time it's in the net, over the stick side of Brent Johnson. Thomas, the veteran, the puck might have been rolling, but what a snap backhander that was. He got great wood on it. That's the first one by Nylander. Now the play is kept in by Oderline. And another one.
Ding dong.
So Johnson gets some help on the first one and has no chance on that second one. What a great shot by Thomas.
Here's Korolev now. For Amonte. They always say once that first one goes in, maybe they'll start to pour in. Housley the chance. It was blocked. And Demitra gets to it. Far side. There you see the Blackhawks, their first goal. The shutout streak by Brent Johnson is over. 207 minutes and 44 seconds.
And we shouldn't be surprised at who scored that goal. Steve Thomas has proven to be a clutch goal scorer in key situations.
Here's Demitra from the angle. It was deflected wide. What I think is most interesting about the goal is that started with what was an awful giveaway. Nylander in front of his own net. I mean, that would have been a horrendous mistake and maybe a series clincher. And instead, he was able to carry the puck out, and it turned out to be a goal. Thomas from Oderline at 4:34. Period number 2.
His 50th career playoff goal.
Shamnop rips one. Save Johnson. Is that big enough save like you were talking about right there?
That's anytime you make a save after you give up a goal, it's a good save. It's when you give up a goal after you give up a goal. That's like going bogey, double bogey.
Oderline back for the touch. Hawks do seem to have some jump. And they can no longer be called the Chicago Blackhawks.
No, they cannot. No, they cannot. You're right about that. But you mentioned that giveaway by Nylander in front of his own zone. It was really interesting, and it's an ill-advised play. And let's stop it right here. He's got pressure all over. I mean, look at this. This is Nylander in front of his own net. Watch the break. He went to go to the backhand. It hit Kachuk and went right back on his stick. 3-on-2 break now coming into the offensive zone. Van Ryan lets him shoot from the outside, and it's a good shot by Nylander too. But Oderline kept it in. Oderline gets the only assist on the play. So a smart move by Oderline, knowing that the Blues are a little out of gas and out of position. He pinches in, keeps the puck in the zone, and Nylander and Thomas playing together here. Brian Sutter, has really changed up his top 3 line combinations, keeping the 4th line together, but making some adjustments with the others.
Vandenbush on now, trying to force it in deep. Hawks get to it. Here's Bell. He's checked by Salvador. Far side Mayers looking to see who was coming at him. There's Pops. Couldn't clear. Salvador another chance. He's pinched by Bell as it's cleared down toward Karpatsev.
Good play.
Here's Bell now, and across the line, 3-on-2 as they hit the line. Bell lost. Ferraro's on it. Spins away from the check. Here's Mayers. Got some help in the form of Boganicki. Think the kid's a shooter? Who let it fly every time he's got the puck. Here's Ferraro for Boganicki. Tied up this time, and it's just cleared out the center by Vandenberg.
That's the old mini-me line. Coming from me, that's bad.
Behind the net. Here's Young. Shot block. McInnes tied up. Vandenbush gets to it. Softly ahead. Couldn't hit Fitzgerald. Good play by Young at center ice. McInnes is checked by Bell. Yeah, 2/3 of that rookie line for Chicago no longer in the lineup.
Bell's out of gas. Has a long shift for those guys. Not used to playing more than even 6 minutes in a game. Although Bell's getting a little bit more minutes as it's going on, and he played 11 minutes in the last game and doing a great job.
Got some power play time in game number 4.
Yeah.
clipped ahead with the glove by McInnes. Delayed offside. No reason to blow it dead now. Young couldn't play it off his skate. Here's Nylander winding up at center.
Got some quick little feet, doesn't he?
Nylander's been good outside of that near giveaway, which of course led to the Chicago goal. Nylander is punished by Bergevin in the corner to the left of Brent Johnson. And we get the whistle. 12:03 to go here in the second. Chicago and St. Louis tied at 1. The Blackhawks have actually scored a goal. Missed the record shutout streak in postseason play by 40 minutes and 48 seconds. The all-time longest is set by Normie Smith of Detroit in 1936. He went 248 minutes, 32 seconds without allowing a playoff goal. Simply amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of overtime. That's why his numbers were not included when we talk about those 3 straight shutouts by the other gentlemen. All great goaltenders.
Here's Keith Tkachuk now at center, one-on-one, and they hack that from behind, and that hack works. Oh, but he bumps Pops down from behind. And the Blues were jumping back in a defensive mode. Here's Tony Amonte from the angle. Rubbed out, shot went wide. Korolev couldn't get to the loose puck. Blues get to it. Nice first pass out of the zone. And here is Demitra. At center for Pronger. He's in. Quick little shot. It's a hard one. And Passmore made the save. Like Pronger was unsure he wanted to do it. Then he said, hey, I'm in pretty close. Go ahead and shoot it.
That's when you can tell Pronger's a confident man. The way he's handling the puck and the way he takes the puck on his blade, on the toe of his blade, I find you really see that assertiveness for Chris Pronger.
Millenby shot blocked by Pops. McInnes wrapped around the boards. Tkachuk cross-checked a couple of times by Korolev. Now a bit of a pick from Millenby. Back to the point. Here's McInnes. Rocket goes high. And there was room between Passmore's head and the crossbar. Through traffic. Stick save along the ice. Passmore. Passmore has been Chicago's best player as we approach the midway point of this game.
Yeah, he has. He's making timely saves.
Bergevin for Nash. He's swung down by Clem. Stays on his feet now. They've still got the puck. For Eastwood. Finds Podine. Nash towards the front of the net. Can't get to it. Podine trying to find Eastwood. Can't do it. Nash able to squeeze through. Nash rubbed out by Jamnov this time. And the Blackhawks get to it. Here's Daze working on Pronger. Pronger put the lumber to him. Spin around. Shot went wide. Johnson might have got a piece with his stick. Van Ryn will play the body, allows Pronger to play the puck.
All about second effort when you're battling on the boards, that's for sure. If you don't have that second effort, the odds are good. You're not going to be able to continue.
Boganicki was stood up nicely by Chevaturkin. Here's Nylander in. Calder's shot missed the mark through the crease. Glove down. Here's Korolev. Rather, Nylander, I beg your pardon. The shot was stopped. And it's sent down the length of the ice as Ferraro was bumped down. And icing will be called 1-1 in St. Louis.
The Casino Queen presents
7:49 to play here in period number 2. If you're just joining us, yes, that's right. The Blackhawks have actually scored a goal. 207 minutes, 44 seconds without beating Brent Johnson. Steve Thomas did it at 4:34 of this second period. This is Game 5, Western Conference quarterfinal series. The Blues desperately want to polish off Chicago tonight. Buy themselves a couple of days off. If they don't, if there's a Game 6 necessary, we'll be back at the United Center in Chicago on Saturday afternoon. And we'll bring it to you if it exists on ABC. Power play underway. Nash in the box with interference at 12:11. Housley shot. Loose puck, they score! A power play goal, Kyle Calder. And it just dribbled by Johnson. The Blackhawks have scored twice, and they actually lead in the game 2-1.
Calder scored a goal in the first game here in St. Louis. And he gets one now on the power play after Brent Johnson made a real good save. Nylander setting up shop. Coach Brian Sutter going to the guys that are playing well here. Housley's slap shot stopped in front. Oh, I'm sorry, it hit Calder first. Oh, and Calder might have even fanned on that. It went off the tip of his blade. And then from our Southwest Airlines goal cam, the left side of your screen right here. See, he just sort of whiffed on it, caught half the puck, and that angle was perfect for it to avoid the glove of the goaltender who was going down.
Hanger, if that's Tuesday night in Chicago, that puck goes wide.
Oh, they're so
That puck goes wide. Calder from Housley and Nylander at 12:43. And what's this? Chicago with a 2-1 lead?
Well, let's face it. We talk, you know, when you prepare for games and you say, well, these guys have been shut out, this guy's been shut out. You say to yourself, if you're a fan of any sport, you say, well, how long can that happen? And clearly, the Blackhawks have had chances the last couple of games, and now we're seeing that they're going into the net. And Tyson Nash takes that interference call. He can only look on now, exit the penalty box, and go back and try to help his teammates get it back.
Monty put it through, and they score again! It's Steve Sullivan off the nifty pass in front. And this Savage Center crowd is stunned. It's 3-1 Chicago.
The St. Louis Blues are forgetting what got them here. Inside 25 seconds, they counter. In fact, 20 seconds after, Kyle Calder scored his second goal of the playoffs and second career playoff goal. Another one of the wingers that was in their top 4 goal scoring all year, Steve Sullivan. And Sullivan had many good chances in game number 4 and wasn't able to capitalize. Korolev puts a backhander right on the tape after Tony Amonte put it towards the goal right here. And it goes off the tip of the stick of Johnson, but it goes wide. Everything should be in better position. But the St. Louis Blues are not covering their own end very well, letting it slip and giving Johnson no help whatsoever now. That's an empty netter there for Sullivan. You see that reaction obviously tells you that they have just lifted an entire hockey rink off his back.
Joel Quenneville using his timeout with 6:57 to play in the second. I think it's a good idea.
That's a great idea. Calm things down here, settle things down. The things that they have been doing well defensively, they let that slip in the last 3 or 4 minutes. And clearly, you gain momentum on a power play goal, but then shortly after that, you know that the Blackhawks are going to come out flying. You've got to shut them down. They didn't do so. And again, Nylander makes the play as well. Sullivan in front of the net. Stick on the ice. Puck comes right back to him. McGinnis is going towards the puck carrier, but no one collapses down low. Bergevin was off to one side, and Steve Sullivan sneaks right into the middle of the ice and taps it home.
Amazing, right, how the game changes. They can't score for 207 minutes. Then they get 2 goals in 20 seconds.
That's hockey.
How do you figure? Exactly. The answer to just about everything, right?
Yep.
That's hockey.
Well, now we'll see how the St. Louis Blues are going to play when behind. They're just so darn stingy when they have the lead, but now they have to change their focus here with a 2-goal deficit. And now we're really going to see McGinnis and Pronger on the ice a great deal. When they have the lead, they can get them off the ice more.
Kachuk was hauled down. Demitra was spotting. The crowd is roaring their displeasure because no indication from either of the 2 referees about an upcoming penalty. And play will continue on. Daze, bodied by Pronger. Here's Calder trying to cut in front. Van Ryn, nice outlet pass, just too far for Wade, rather Demitra. And St. Louis will flip in. Jamnov will go back to chase it. Thomas couldn't clear. Wade keeps in. Stillman on it there. Wade hit by Chevaturkin. Centering feed blocked. Second chance. Finley was all alone in front. And you never see Jeff Finley in front of the net.
Well, that's what you're going to see now. Defensemen are going to be jumping up in the play.
Young shot, score! Scott Young has made it a 3-2 hockey game.
Exactly what you have to do to counter the reaction of everybody. Solid timeout by the coach, Joel Quenneville. Corey Stillman dives and knocks the puck ahead to Scott Young. Great effort by Corey Stillman. On his belly, Stick extended, and he puts it to the right-handed snapshot of Scott Young, making it a 3-2 game.
Goals were at such a premium here in this series, and all of a sudden the last 3 shots on goal have gone in the goal. Young from Stillman and Bryce Salvador at 14-21. This is turning into Boston-Montreal, Panger.
Well, that was a great shot, because it's a tough play for a goaltender when you try to put it through the wicket of your arm and your body, especially a butterfly guy as active as Steve Passmore.
Here's Tony Amonte out at center. Boganicki checks him, and across the line is Sullivan. Off for Nylander. Nylander, what a move for Clem, shot through traffic. Missed the mark. Meyers, heavy hit there as he really stepped into his man. Nylander, centering feed. Sullivan, quick shot. Pounded wide. Here's Nylander behind the net. All sorts of chaos in front of Brent Johnson. Here's Odeline, shot. Missed the mark on the near side. Clem will keep in now, has to bring it back out to center ice.
Ooh, almost too many men on the ice for St. Louis.
Robert for Odeline. Got a lane, lets it go. Left hand save, Johnson.
Good save.
Maybe testing some of that newfound confidence by Johnson in goal. Giving up 3 here tonight. A wild and wacky turn of events here in St. Louis.
This is great stuff.
Off of Young's skate and into the Chicago end. Passmore let it go. Bell swings it around far side. Finley again in deep. Back behind the net, it's Waite. Leaves it there. He get the whistle. 3:53 to go here in the second. Scott Young has made this a 1-goal game. St. Louis starting to get frustrated the way Chicago has been all series.
Yeah, Johnson covering up on the right side. Now 19 in the red, and Pronger right here. Whoop, watch this left come up. Whoop. Shot. And then somebody else grabbed him. Scott Melleby gave him the leather face wash as well. Calder has proved to be a very gritty performer for the Blackhawks. Really, this is his first, you call it his first full season as a main contributor to the Blackhawks. They played all year long on the top line with Amonte and Jam. Now that line broken up here the last 2 games.
No real sophomore slump from him. His numbers were down, but for all sophomore players in the NHL, he was 4th in scoring. Marion Gaborik of Minnesota was the top scoring sophomore this past NHL regular season. Here's Pronger stepping up. Passmore might have gotten it with a stick. And we roar back the other way for Chicago. Hopped on Sullivan. Headman McInnes. Al McInnes is onside. And it pops up in the air, high off the glass, right of Passmore, who still has been Chicago's best player tonight.
Darren right he has. Notice the St. Louis Blues are staying away from the glove. They're going stick side on Passmore. Scott Young scored between his arm and his body. He just made another good save with the blocker. We'll keep our eye on that and see what their tendencies are with Steve Passmore.
Season got off to a tough start for Passmore. He got his first start back in November in Anaheim. Wound up leaving that game in the second period due to a sprained knee. But after Christmas, he was stellar.
Pronger steps in, and the winger, Steve Sullivan, your job is to make sure that that defenseman doesn't jump in. That is your responsibility in your own zone. And the wingers of the Blackhawks have got to do a better job. Good save, though. Good save off Pronger's snapshot.
Here's Pronger now. Somebody got a stick chop. Thomas hasn't dropped it either. And now he drops it. Might have gotten away with one as the puck trickles wide. Still a shot, score! With 1.1 second left. Pronger got the goal. And it's a tie hockey game.
This playoff series, end the game. around, out of position. Thomas had broken his stick. Looked like a power play. 5 guys on the Blackhawks running around, pressure in front. Mellanby there as well. Tkachuk there. This shot from a sharp angle with Mellanby all over Passmore. Passmore was absolutely scrambling. He lost his base and he lost his stance, and he was on his side.
Loose goal, his first of the playoffs. Scored by number 44, Chris.
Just adjusting the clock. They'll say there are 2.2 seconds left in the period. It's Pronger from McInnes and Mellanby at 19:58. And that'll do it. The horn will sound. 4 goals on the last 5 shots in the hockey game. A wild turn of events here. Chicago scored 3, and they didn't even have the lead after 2. Face off to the right of Steve Passmore. Eastwood on the draw. Great in the face-off department in the second and third game.
Pronger right there, getting ready for a shot.
There he is, and Pronger just rolled it wide. Here's Podine, try the center. Bodies strewn everywhere. And here's Pops. Back check by Eastwood. Nash on the far side in front of that St. Louis bench.
Battles.
Plays allowed to continue on. He and Calder have really battled throughout the series. Van Ryn hit by Chevaturkin. Passmore will leave it there.
I'm surprised. Jamnov went right over to Eastwood, though, and nudged him off the puck as well.
Here's Clem. Nice play off the boards. Looks like a pretty good pass. That shot went wide. Sullivan nearly off the end boards. Trying to get the shot away. Amonte had the first shot. They went wide. Pops lost it. Korolev picks him up. And Igor Korolev to center. Sullivan reached for it. Mellanby got to it off a stick back to Bergevin. Shot is on goal by Passmore, and Tkachuk took a swipe at it. And Odeline came over to tell him we don't appreciate that. 6 minutes into the third. Well, tomorrow night, ESPN and ESPN2 bring in another full night of Stanley Cup playoff action. At 7 Eastern, Patrick Lalime will try to keep his shutout streak alive. The Senators look to put away the Flyers for good. And then here on ESPN2, the Islanders and Maple Leafs return to Toronto. And the Sharks in the late game will look to do away with the Phoenix Coyotes. ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC, your exclusive homes for all Stanley Cup action.
Chris Pronger's had a strong game. In a 3-3 game, he's still physical. Looks like he's full of energy inside his own zone. Vandenbush there behind the net. Pronger trying to get inside position on Vandenbush. Got his left arm on him, pushes him in the boards. Here comes Probert as well. But all that action in their own zone led to a pretty good chance in the offensive zone.
Mayers for the Blues. With Boganicki. Played 8 regular season games with the big club. Had 1 assist. Mayers is checked, comes away with the puck. Turnaround shot, he scores! What a goal by Jamal Mayers! And it's 4-3 St. Louis.
After Boganicki played it behind the net. Great play by Ray Ferraro to beat Korolev off the puck. Now he uses his foot. Super play there by Ray Ferraro. Spin around play. Jamal Mayers puts it on net, and it's an awful goal. I mean, it's just not a good goal going through the legs. From our Southwest Airlines goal cam, the paddle of the stick along the ice hunched over, and it's an innocent-looking play. Passmore doesn't know it's behind him. He looks around, and it's right between the wickets.
Mayers from Ferraro and Boganicki at 6:23, and it's a 4-3 St. Louis lead. For Eric Boganicki, his first Stanley Cup playoff point. And congratulations to the rookie. Here's Thomas from the side. Johnson was hugging the post. Mellanby over. Fitzgerald, the shot was on the outside of the net. Johnson gloved it and lets it go for his defense.
Now we'll see the system of the St. Louis Blues take place. You know, they might have one forechecker, two wingers back deep in the neutral zone, and then you've got your 2D. And it is systematic.
Out ahead at center. Here's Nash, slowed down by Daze. Nash down to the ice trying to draw a penalty. Podine checks his man.
He's never going to get a call. Leading 4-3, trying to dive and get a...
Daze, step on Pronger, big save by Johnson, and the puck loose in the corner. There's Nash and Calder again, the crowd roars. Clem kept in. Eastwood.
Oh, what a play.
It's stepped into by Housley. Good anticipation by Phil Housley. Pronger swings it around. Clem finishes his check, and the puck goes down the length of the ice. And this will be icing with Housley on the touch. 12-12 left here in the third. And the St. Louis Blues on the Mayor's goal have a 4-3 lead. Think back to that Joel Quenneville properly placed timeout. Chicago had scored 2 goals in a 20-second span and opened up a 3-1 lead in the game. And the Blues have answered back with 3 of their own. Jamal Mayers, who scored a big goal in game number 3 in Chicago off a 2-on-1 break the first 90 seconds of the game. It took the Blackhawks and their crowd out of it, really the rest of the game. And Mayers goal the difference right here. Overline shot, missed the mark on the far side. Nylander will pump it in deeper. Amonte trying to make the move on Bergevin. Bergevin's got him locked up with an arm. And still Chicago able to get to the puck. Here's Sullivan. Backhand deep. Amonte will take a look. He's checked by McKinnis and spun off the puck. Nylander kicks it free to Amonte. For Sullivan. Amonte in a high slot area. If they can get it to him, they'll get the shot away. Bergevin pitchforks it high off the glass. Amonte not able to keep it in, goes just over the glass, right where the short glass meets the high glass, and into the front row.
Good pressure by the Amonte line, but going back to the goal scored by the St. Louis Blues, the Blues have inside position a lot here. Here you see a battle, Korolev battling, but watch the way Ferraro kind of spins around. Right here, kind of holds him up. By that time, Jamal Mayer is able to get the puck, a spin-around shot, puts it on net. Boganecki's driving towards the net. Ray Ferraro did an excellent job with his feet. Good soccer maneuver. Before we froze it on that play, actually to the right of Passmore, he got right in there and he forced the Blackhawk player along the boards. So he was actually, in essence, closer to the goal line than the Blackhawk player that's supposed to be defending him. As a defending player, you're supposed to get yourself between the puck and your own goal and your own goaltender in the defensive zone, on the defensive side of the puck, and that didn't happen.
Off the draw of the St. Louis end. Podine is taken down by Chebaturkin. Jamnov deep away from the pressure of Eastwood. Poxin on the far side, nearly turned it over. And it will that be a turnover at center. Van Ryn didn't see Calder coming. He's fortunate they got that one all the way across D to D. Here's Calder. Hit by Van Ryn. Pronger's on it. Off the glass and out of the zone. 9 minutes into the third. St. Louis reclaimed a 4-3 lead. Blues scored the first goal of the game, had a 1-0 lead late in that first period.
The difference now for the Blackhawks is they've scored 3 goals in the game. It's not like they've gone 2 or 3 without scoring a goal. So I think their objective right now would be get the puck in deep and then put the puck on net. Nothing fancy about it, but their dumpings are going to have to be good with very little time to sustain pressure.
Speaking of dunk, one of the Hawks was on the far side. Quick shot by Young, saved by Passmore with the right pad. The puck is cleared to center, and they're going to say it was touched by the Blackhawk bench. That's the reason for the whistle, and we send it back to John Saunders.
Well, Steve, don't count out the Montreal Canadiens just yet. In the third period, putting some pressure on Defoe on the power play. Out in front and in one quick motion. Zednik gets his second of the game, and it's 4-2.
Couldn't hang on to a 2-goal lead. Will they be able to hang on to a 3-goal lead in Montreal? Speaking of the Bruins, the best way to follow the action of every NHL game, NHL Gamecast. NHL Gamecast provides fans with live scoring, shot charts, and game stats. NHL Gamecast available on ESPN.com as well as NHL.com.
Hey, what? Doug Waite's got excellent balance, and he's very underrated in terms of hitting guys when they least expect it. And that's a battle for the pocket. I'm sure Mark Bell's thinking, well, Doug Waite's an offensive finesse guy. He'll just try to poke check the puck away. And instead, Doug Waite went right over towards Bell and knocked Bell over. And Doug Waite goes 5'11", 196. Bell is 6'3", 210 pounds. It's all about timing, and it's all about balance. The second point is that Scott Young's shot from across the blue line, again, going to the stick side on Passmore, trying to find that hole between his stick, his arm, and his body.
Steal by Young, able to take it away from Housley. But Housley's able to reclaim it and makes the nice pass just off the stick of Fitzgerald. Couldn't handle. And it's back softly into the Chicago end. Housley will go across to his partner Clem. Come up on the midway point of period number 3. Waite, good back check in his own end. Young can't get to it. Housley can for Chicago. Wrapped around the boards. Centering feed in front. Nylander couldn't get the shot away. Here's Pops. He'll fire. It's blocked by Young. Chicago retains possession. Now they lose, and Young will clear.
And Fitzgerald was dumped behind the play.
Chicago has just 2 shots on goal here in the 3rd period. They'll need some more pressure if their season is to see another game. The St. Louis Blues in their 35th season in the NHL face off to the right of number 35 in goal, Brent Johnson. And off the draw, Jamnov beats Eastwood. Housley trying to make something happen. Will shoot it in deep and then jump back as Mayers is racing out at center. They're onside, and he had a step but could not control the puck. Out of a pretty good foot race. Mayers and Housley. Mayers had the lead. Rather, Housley had the lead, but Mayers had the jump on the speed. Across the blue line and the red line, and Housley will fire in. Housley will get another chance.
Nice play.
Goes across. Karpovtsev's shot stopped. Here's Jamnov. Saved by Brent Johnson. Jamnov couldn't lift it, and Johnson went down to the ice and made the save.
Super D-to-D passing. Housley over to Karpovtsev. Shot on goal. Rebound line there. And Johnson made an aggressive and instinctive move.
Here's Melody. Hawks are coming. You feel some of the Chicago pressure. 8.5 to go in the 3rd. Maybe in the Chicago season. Centering feed. Great stop. Passmore on a 3-on-2 down low. And we go coast to coast on ESPN2. Glove down by Johnson. Off for McKinnis. Pop's trying to force the issue there. Has the puck. Goes across for Amonte. Shank the shot. Sullivan on it. Back behind the net. Demitra trying to wrap it around. Strange carom off the glass. And the Blues desperately need a clear. And they get the veteran clear because it doesn't go far enough for icing. Off the skate of Young. Here's Ferraro. Checked by Clem. Ray was off by himself. He was 1-on-4. This is Game 5, Western Conference quarterfinal series. It's 4-3 St. Louis. The Hawks will need one, and they'll need at least one more to keep their season alive. On the edge of being eliminated are the Chicago Blackhawks. They finally broke through. They had gone 208 minutes without scoring against Brent Johnson. 3 goals in 8 minutes in the 2nd period, and they find themselves trailing by a goal, 4-3. Sheveturkin is back for it. We've really run the gamut of emotions here in St. Louis tonight. The 2 teams, the crowd. Podine got a step. He's got Nash going to the net. Shot saved by Passmore to the toe. And the rebound from Nash in the corner, kicked out by Passmore. Here's Pronger. Off for Bell, who played it with his skate. In with Vandenbush. Good poke check by the veteran Bergevin. Here's Pronger, fanned on the shot. And it's clear to center. Rolling puck to Brock. Pronger couldn't handle. Housley Housley for Pronger. Turned over at the blue line, and Housley is there.
Good play by Mellenby to fight off Bob Pronger to get the puck out of the zone.
Oh, here's Daze with a step. On the backhand, saved by Johnson. Kicked into the traffic. Stopped on the shot by Housley. Housley let a bullet go from the slot. Pronger trying to break through. The defenseman was in.
Oh, what pressure. Blackhawks doing all the little things right to get good shots, but Johnson's there.
Jamnov with speed. They're onside. Here's Daze. Gloved by Johnson. He'll hang on. And they're on their feet in St. Louis. They're ready to start the weekend. They're ready to start the second round of the playoffs. They're 6 minutes and 10 seconds away with the Blues leading.
Great end-to-end action. This is where the Hawks went D to D. Shot, save. Watch Jamnov come into your picture. Tried to, he didn't know what to do. And if not for the aggressive play by Johnson, he would have had more time. Johnson beat him to it. Then, shot, kick save. Housley trying to go to the blocker's side. Johnson doesn't know where it is after it hit him on the right shoulder. Another key save by Johnson. The Blues come right back. Demitra makes a perfect pass to Mellenby, and Steve Passmore keeps the Blackhawks' hopes alive, even though they trail by one. Wonderful end-to-end action. The Blackhawks showing the kind of desperation you have to have, trailing by one and on the brink of elimination.
Off the draw, good tie-up, Eastwood and Jamnov, and so they get some help, and Chicago gets more help. Here's Clem's shot, stopped by Johnson, and he'll hang on.
He wanted to play that puck, didn't he?
Keep that clock moving.
Yeah, you bet he did.
Another face-off will come deep in the St. Louis end, and the face-offs become even more pivotal now.
Absolutely right. Face-offs have been, they're a key, obviously. Timing's everything. You could lose 10 in a row and win the big key face-off down the stretch. But going into the third period, the Blackhawks were at 35%, whereas the St. Louis Blues were at 65%.
The Kings and the Avalanche, they'll get started in about 5 minutes from now from Colorado. We will take you immediately there as soon as this one is over. Another big face-off.
Here's where he's going to go, and they're going to try to go D to D because the right-hand shot is Clem, but they don't win the face-off.
Eastwood beats Sullivan on that draw. Hodin will push it softly into the Chicago end. Here's Pops on it. Out ahead for Amonte, off Sullivan. Pops has it there. Back for Clem. Nash on the forecheck. Turned over at the blue line. Hodin is stepped into by Pops, and he goes down to the ice. Cross ice pass was in the air, and Sullivan couldn't get to it.
Boy, Pops has had a terrific first playoff. Bit of experience. He's done a really great job. Been a reliable player that makes smart little plays with the puck, and his positioning is good.
Offside of the St. Louis blue line, 4-3 Blues. Peter Forsberg and the Avalanche still hoping to close out the Los Angeles Kings. That one is coming up after St. Louis and Chicago. Steve. First things first, John, thanks. Will the Blackhawks be eliminated in the next few moments? Will the Kings be eliminated in about 3 hours from now? Stay tuned to ESPN 2. There's Mike Van Ryn. He'll shoot it around. Speaking of valuable experience, we're going to say they were offside on the shoot-in. Bring it back outside the zone. 5:03 left here in the third. And I'm sure Tony Amonte is not thinking about it at this moment. But fans of his are, that this might be the final 5 minutes. He plays in that traditional Blackhawks sweater, unrestricted free agent. At the end of this season, he is goalless to this point. He does have an assist in tonight's game.
Regular season as a member of the Chicago Blackhawks, he has been so resilient. 410 consecutive games played. That's first active. That's regular season. Missed just 9 games as a member of the Chicago Blackhawks.
And there's no forward in the league who's hit more or harder, I believe, than Tony Amonte. And so for him to have that consecutive streak game, plays in traffic, never question his heart or his effort. The goals have not come for him in this series. Kicked out to center. Jamnov is there. Here's Housley. Get the sense Brent Johnson's going to have to make at least one more great save.
Absolutely.
To keep this 4-3 game. Johnson nearly forced himself into making a great save on a turnover. Wow. It's cleared out to center.
He was a little slow and handed it off to Pronger, and Pronger had a player on him, but he sure made up for it by poking the puck away, and then Pronger had an easy lane.
Housley, great pass to Fitzgerald. Couldn't get anything going and sent into the Chicago end. Pushed ahead. Here's Thomas. Steve Thomas got the first Chicago goal tonight. First in a long time in some 208 minutes against Brent Johnson. Here's Tkachuk looking to break from the angle. One-on-one with Ola. Tkachuk shot, score! Keith Tkachuk has made it a 5-3 hockey game. The Blues lead.
Series. So many times he's in front of that net, and so many times this line as a group. Mellanby makes the hit in the defensive zone that causes the turnover. Here comes a lot of speed and a pretty big horse coming at you. Odeline can't get good position on him. Steve Passmore opens up the wickets, and Keith Tkachuk is rewarded with the 5th goal of the game and a very comfortable 2-goal lead now.
A typical power forward move.
Yeah. Get your
by the prototypical power forward of the NHL, Keith Tkachuk.
Get that big butt in the way and protect the puck with it against a pretty big guy in Odeline who goes 210 pounds.
We had joked with him earlier about turning into a finesse center. He had 3 assists, like really fancy assist plays in this series. And he said, absolutely no way. And he's finally got a goal in this series.
And look at Joel Quenneville put him right back out on the ice. The big line right back out there.
Tkachuk for Van Ryn. Shoots it in deeper. Tkachuk trying to center. It's broken up. 3:15 away from advancing on to the second round of the Stanley Cup Playoffs.
That might be an area where the Blackhawks identify in the offseason, a little bigger and stronger along the boards. Been a big difference. Mellanby and Tkachuk are big bodies there, and they do all the little things well to get pucks.
And across the line, here's Amonte. Angle drive is deflected over the net. Clam on the far side. That shot is blocked. Van Ryn gets to it. And it's put out of play. And we send it back to John Saunders.
Steve, a good night for the 1 seed. Boston against Montreal already with a 4-2 lead. Sergei Samsonov, the little speedster, sends it back and goes to the net, gets the rebound, knocks it past Theodore. 5-2, so they're going to hold on to even that series up. And Detroit, another shutout for Dominik Hasek. They get the Canucks 4-0 and have now won 3 straight over Vancouver and lead 3-2.
John, thank you. Some of these Chicago faces. 2:48 to play in the 3rd period, and quite possibly their season. Hard to believe the Blackhawks won game 1 in this building at a 1-0 lead, and now they're on the verge of losing 4 in a row. 3 via the shutout. They scored 3 goals here tonight in an 8.5-minute span, and are on the wrong side of a 5-3 score.
They had a 3-1 lead. I mean, they just have to look at themselves and say, what did we do wrong? I mean, you give St. Louis credit, but the Blackhawks had a 3-1 lead.
Think about that. They get this game, it's 3-2. They go back to Chicago, home ice, have to win a home game, and the series is all tied. They, with Detroit, had the best home record in the NHL in the regular season. But that home effort was not there for them in games 3 and 4 of this series.
The Pronger goal with 2 seconds left in the 2nd period. Blackhawks running around. Steve Passmore was scrambling, and he fired it from an innocent-looking angle.
Housley on it for Chicago. Turned over. Wait will force it deeper. Passmore will leave it there. Listen to the crowd building to a crescendo. Bell had a stick lifted at the end, and that shot went wide, and you wouldn't have counted anyway. They're going to say offside, but it's impossible to hear at the Savage Center. Offside, a minute 43 left to play here in the 3rd.
Safe to say Brent Johnson has kept his dauber up no matter what happens. And even
was that a smile from Chris
that was a
Pronger?
smile as he talks to backup goaltender Freddie Brathwaite. But you got Mellenby, who's been a real leader. How many more years? Is he going to play next year even for Mellenby? He's been through the wars as far as his body's been concerned, and he has been terrific. The top line on the St. Louis Blues, they've led by example. And here they are, minute and 43 on the ice. Guess who's on the ice? In a defensive style of role even, it's the Demitra line. Keith Tkachuk, man, he's been good. Hey, there was some question about chemistry on this club. And you know what? There was question because you wondered about it. You know, a lot of personalities, a lot of big
leadership.
You know, too many guys saying too many things in the room. Well, now they clearly have come together as a unit.
Seemed like 3/4 of their roster at one point had worn a C or an A on their sweater someplace.
Yeah. And there's the goal by Tkachuk that really has sealed this one off. After Mellenby had made the hit in the offensive zone, what a play by Keith Tkachuk. Great play.
Johnson makes the save to the corner. Demitra hit hard. There's Amonte. Chops it back to the point. Passmore was on his way out.
He needs some direction by the bench. It gets really confusing down there, let me tell you. He doesn't want to go at the wrong time. But now he's off.
Hawks keep in. Sullivan, extra attacker on. Nylander over there. And they get the whistle. Minute 9 left here in the third. The Blues lead 5-3. After the Blues lost game 1 of this series, it was the stat we heard the most about, that in Blues franchise history, when losing game 1 of a series, they've gone on to win just 2 of 22 series. Just 2 and 20. Well, this looks like it'll be the third time in 23 series they've come back to win after dropping game number 1.
I'm surprised Brian Sutter hasn't called a timeout here. Joel Quenneville has his timeout already. Remember, he did that after the Blackhawks had scored 2 in 20 seconds. Blackhawks have about 15 guys on the ice. Joel Quenneville saying, okay, what's the drill here? There's been no timeout call, but boy, the Blackhawks are doing a good job of buying time, aren't they? Now, look at this. Tony Amonte's not even on the ice. Do you believe that?
Great catch, Banger.
Boy, oh boy.
That last goal was Tkachuk unassisted at 15:56.
Kind of a slap, isn't it?
This was a 3-3 game, and there's a look at Tony, and he's thinking exactly what you just said, I'm sure.
It's got to be killing.
And maybe now he realizes he spent the next 69 seconds likely on the bench, likely his last 69 seconds in a Chicago uniform. Good face-off with they're able to keep in. Sullivan, the shot, stick saved by Brent Johnson. And it's cleared to center. 60 seconds to play. In regulation time, it's 5-3 Blues. Chicago on the verge of being eliminated. Will the Kings be eliminated tonight? In Denver. We'll take you there to the Pepsi Center in just seconds. Johnson nearly misplayed it. Loose puck. Hawks get to it. Hawks, backdoor. Shot shanked by Nylander. Wrapped around and all the way down, and icing will be called. Jamnov the touch. 22.6 seconds left.
Victory tonight. Please stand by after the game following the Bud Light 3 Skies for important Stanley Cup Playoff ticket information.
The Blackhawks finally able to break through. After not scoring in 208 minutes, they scored 3 goals in an 8.5-minute span, 2 in a 20-second span, had a 3-1 lead when Joel Quenneville used his timeout. Brian Sutter and Chicago will take their timeout right now.
Passmore made some good saves early in this hockey game, but he let in some goals that you can't let up when you're in the brink of elimination, and that's just the fact of the matter. You can make all the great saves in the world, but it's the ones you give in that suck the life out of you.
We touched on Amonte. How about Jocelyn Thibault, widely considered the #1 goaltender for Chicago? He's got the big ticket, the big contract. You wonder if he'll be back as the #1 goaltender for the Hawks next season.
Well, you have to wonder because Brian Sutter made a decision. It was a coaching decision. It wasn't a long-term management decision. His decision then was, I don't care if the guy makes $3 million. He's sitting on the bench. I'm going with Steve Passmore, a career backup goaltender and minor leaguer. So you do have to wonder if that's not a message to management saying we got to get somebody else in the offseason. So there's a lot of question marks, which is too bad. It spoils an awfully good comeback season from the Blackhawks. Well, there's many options right here, but obviously this is a guy, Housley's going to have to get the puck on net. A lot of players are just going to start jamming the net. If Jamnov can win the faceoff.
Amonte is on the ice on the far side.
Yeah, he is. Sullivan's a right-hand shot right here. And so puck gets back to anybody. With a left-hand centerman, that would be the guy.
Pretty great regular season for Chicago. Only the Islanders had a bigger improvement in the regular season. They improved 25 points, Chicago did. But that's not going to help them tonight. The Hawks back in the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. And they're going to go out in 5 games. 10 seconds left. They'll count it down here in St. Louis.
Johnson has it in his glove.
There's 0.8 of a second left. Amonte had a shot there that nearly trickled by him.
Well, the Blackhawks will want to look at the clock, but it's not going to matter. It's a 2-goal deficit with maybe a couple of seconds left on the clock. So I mean, there's no giving up in the Blackhawks, but clearly time is not on their side. That puck, that's the one by Amonte. You're right, it was bouncing like crazy. And then the rebound attempt by Jamnov went off the blocker of Brent Johnson, who's going to win his very first playoff series.
Face off to the right of Brent Johnson. They put 1.5 seconds on the clock. That'll do it. We welcome the St. Louis Blues to the second round of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. They do away with their rivals, the Blackhawks, in a 5-game series.
This was a wild one here. Oh, this was exciting. End-to-end action. Yeah, it's been a super series as far as defense is concerned. But when it all counted most, Joel Quenneville's club got it done. With the big line, with some strong play from their big horse on the blue line and from their young goaltender, Brent Johnson.
They're the two head coaches, Joel Quenneville and Brian Sutter, exchanging the handshakes. Brian Sutter, of course, played his entire 12-year career here in St. Louis. He's number 3 on their all-time scoring list. Has his number 11 retired here in St. Louis. He's on the wrong side of the rivalry tonight.
Captain of the Chicago Blackhawks. And the future looks unclear as far as being a Blackhawk again. I wouldn't expect it. He'll be unrestricted. Chris Pronger playing his best hockey of the year. Keith Tkachuk is the horse that we talked about all the time. What a player he was in this series. Goal scorers couldn't get it done for the Chicago Blackhawks. But we'll have to look at that. If they want to get better and challenge, they'll have to look at a couple of areas.
There's Jamal Mayers, the game-winning goal tonight. In fact, had 2 game-winning goals in this series.
It's good. You know, a lot of things are said in a playoff series. I mean, guys don't like each other. There's a lot of nastiness, and there's a lot of chirping going on down there.
It's all over from St. Louis. The Blues eliminate the Blackhawks in 5 games.